I want to share with you 7 different reasons you may still be broke and how to fix those. Now, YouTube is full of advice about how to be rich, but it assumes one of 2 things. 1, you're already earning a huge amount of money and this is how you can make more. Or 2, that you're happy to stay in your parents' basement until you're in your 40s, having never seen the sun on holiday or never enjoying going out with your friends ever. This doesn't have to be the case. I want to go through 7 different things that will allow you to live your life the way you want, but also to start taking more and more steps on your road to financial freedom. Number 1 is having only one stream of income. Now, I wasn't really aware that this was a problem, so much so that I remember applying for a mortgage and them asking me the question if I had any other forms of income other than my day-to-day job. And I was surprised by this question. I remember that thinking, well, why would I need another form of income? And that kind of thinking just seems to be prevalent everywhere. And it's really holding us back, because did you know that on average a millionaire will have 7 different streams of income? Now, not only is this really helpful because it will help support you in any kind of circumstances where, maybe your company goes bust, maybe they downsize, maybe that you just hate your job and can't do it anymore. But you want to look at creating more streams of income so you've got more money coming in than just through that one job, so you're not solely reliant paycheck to paycheck from that one place. But how can you increase the number of income streams you've got? Well, do you have skills on social media? Are you brilliant at Instagram? Are you the best at TikTok? Can you create shorts for YouTube? Can you edit videos? Because people are desperate for those skills. There's loads of people out there that want to create content but are put off by the fact that they don't know how to, use Instagram as a platform or to edit a video. And you can sell these skills on websites like Fiverr.com, and this will give you a big idea of what other people who are trying to sell similar skills are charging for it, so you can make sure that you price yourself accordingly. Now, this will mean that people are coming to you and asking you to do work for them, and you can do it in the evenings or on the weekends, and you can choose to do as much work or as little work as you like, but that will start to bring in additional money. But maybe you don't have the social media skills, but you've got other skills you could sell on Fiverr. Maybe you're great at copywriting. Maybe you can sell your proofreading skills. But if you don't want to use the internet, how about the gig economy? So you can drive for Amazon, delivering parcels in the evenings or on the weekends, or you can do deliveries for Uber Eats or Deliveroo. You can take your car and make it into an asset instead of a liability, and we'll be getting onto that later. Now, perhaps you don't really want to drive for a living, or you don't have access to a car. Maybe you can look at other things within your local neighbourhood. Maybe you can offer to clean wheelie bins with a pressure washer, because nobody wants a stinky bin. Or maybe you can offer to cut the grass as we move more into the spring and summer months, or just do some gardening. And it's not going to get you a huge amount of money perhaps, but what it will do is it will stop you from being out there spending money, because you'll be earning money instead. And you can choose the hours you want to work. And as you get more income streams, then you can start looking at things that will earn you a slightly more passive income, such as your dividends and your stocks and shares and so on. But we're a bit early on that. There'll be a video to come in the future. There's even the potential to double up on your income streams here, because perhaps you could start offering house sitting services or pet sitting services. And while you're looking after someone's house or looking after someone's pet, you can take your laptop, get onto the Wi-Fi, and you can start selling those social media skills, those copywriting skills. And before you know it, you've created 2-3 different streams of income as well as your day-to-day job. And there you are much more financially stable. Number 2 is a lack of financial education. Now, there's just something that's massively missing out of schools is no one teaches you about how to manage your finances or how to use money to your advantage to become richer. And perhaps you could argue that is because they want to keep people in the general workforce. They don't want the whole society being rich and not having to work, because then there wouldn't be anyone to do anyone for anything. How can you, though, take advantage of that shortfall in education so you can get yourself a step or 2 ahead of everyone else? Well, there are lots of really useful books out there, such as Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, or I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Now, these are really great resources that will give you an insight in actually how you can use money to your advantage and how you can get ahead of 90% of other people. In Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki talks about making sure you invest in assets rather than liabilities. So a liability would be your car if you're only going to use it for day trips to do whatever, and it means it's taking money out of your pocket. However, as I mentioned, if you get involved more in the gig economy and you start driving for Deliveroo or for Amazon, then all of a sudden the car has become an asset because it is enabling you to put money back into your pocket. Or if you've got a particularly nice car, perhaps you can rent it out for weddings or things like that. So it's allowing what you've spent money on to help you make money and bring it back. And then Ramit in I Will Teach You to Be Rich, he talks about, the big wins, like making sure that your savings are automated, so when you get paid, a portion of that money gets put into a savings account. He also talks about being money conscious, so you're aware about what you're spending money on and if it really is necessary. So do you have to buy a coffee every day, or actually do you manage to only have a coffee every Friday as a treat? It's being sensible and making conscious and involved decisions around your money. Number 3 is high interest debt. And by that, I'm looking at credit cards with big balances, store cards, or payday loans. Please avoid payday loans wherever you can. And why is it so important to pay off high interest debt first? It's simply because if you've borrowed $100, if you don't pay off quickly, the amount you owe will increase and increase and increase, and you could end up owing $300 for that $100 you borrowed. Now, you can invest in stocks and shares later, but they're never likely to have as big a return as the interest your high interest debt is accruing. Now, credit cards are great because they can provide you with some additional insurance against fraud and against companies going bust, but you should only use them if you're prepared to pay them off in full at the end of each month. This will help you build your credit rating and be seen as someone that's more likely to get offered better interest rates for loans such as mortgages in the future. So there's absolutely a place for credit cards, but make sure that you pay off anything like that at the end of each month in full. Number 4 is not having an emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund is essentially 3 to 6 months of your living expenses that you have in savings. So if anything untoward was to happen, if you were to end up being off sick for a couple of months and you couldn't work, so couldn't earn any money, you'd have money there available to support you through that period. Now, it's really important to try and create this emergency fund before you think about other savings accounts. You want that peace of mind, really. You want the knowledge that you have got money there to support you and your lifestyle if the worst were to happen. You found yourself without a job, or some of your income streams dried up because all of a sudden Pokemon isn't big anymore. Another real benefit of the emergency fund is if your fridge freezer was to break down and you needed to replace that urgently, you'd have money there available to do it. You wouldn't have to borrow money on a credit card. You wouldn't have to think about one of those dreaded payday loans, and you wouldn't end up paying more than the cost of the actual fridge freezer itself. So what it does is it creates you that buffer. It allows you to purchase those items you need to be able to buy quickly without the fear of getting into further debt. How do you create an emergency fund? You follow Ramit Sethi's advice and you automate your savings. So at the end of each month, you automate a portion of your income to go into an emergency fund savings account. And that will slowly build up over time until you've reached the target that you want. And at that point, you can then start looking at your high interest savings accounts and your stocks and shares and ISAs and crypto and so on. Number 5 is lifestyle creep. So congratulations. You've managed to get a raise, you've managed to get a better paid job, you've managed to increase the number of income streams you're coming in, so you've got more money available to you. But like so many other people out there, you're spending more money as well. All of a sudden, you're wearing the latest designer gear, you're eating out at restaurants more often, you're buying better quality food and fancier shoes. And that's understandable. And absolutely, if you've worked hard to get that raise, if you've worked hard to get those additional income streams, you want to see the fruits of your labour. But try and cap it at 25%. So look at how you can take 75% and put it straight into savings, be it the emergency fund, be it an ISA, be it your Roth IRA, or even stocks and shares. It's at that point where you have got the money going out of your account almost automatically each month that you'll start to see your financial wealth grow and grow. Number 6 is not investing in yourself. Now, it's really important to make sure that you grow your skills and you learn more. And if you've got more money coming in, then you've got an opportunity to invest it in courses and in learning to make sure that you have a step up on the other competition that's out there, going for the jobs you want, going for the clients that you want to get for your additional income streams. And also it will affect the amount you can charge for services that you can deliver. So maybe you're brilliant at TikTok, but if you were to take another course in that and to learn a few more key pointers, you could change the rate you charge. So instead of charging $30 an hour, you could potentially up it to $50 an hour, because you can offer things that other people can't offer. And that instantly increases your ability to earn more money. So investing in yourself will really pay off, and it will pay off quite quickly as well, because not only will it make you better equipped to apply for that next job, or maybe it will give you a new skill that you can then monetize, it will also mean that you keep developing yourself, and that's going to have health benefits as well, keeping you mentally young. Number 7 is not realizing your worth. Now this is key, because this is holding you back. If you are stuck in a dead-end job, which you quite enjoy because you're good at it, and you're scared to take the next step because you've looked at the person's specification and you don't meet every single point on it, and that stops you from even trying, then you're not going to get yourself ahead. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, if you're waiting for someone just to come and give you a job, it's really unlikely to happen, and you're going to just keep finding yourself in the same situation all the time. Now, you are good at the job you're doing, you can do it, and you can do so much more, and you've got to realize that you are worth more, and you're worth those opportunities, and you can help encourage yourself to do that by investing in yourself, as we mentioned. But also, you've really got to try and put your best foot forward. Yes, there is of course the fear of the unknown, and we never know whether we're going to get into a situation that we're going to find uncomfortable. But unless we do it, we'll never find out. It may be that the next step up is brilliant and it opens so many more doors for you. And if it isn't, you can always look for another job. You can always go back to a job similar to the one you were doing in the past. So really, you've got very little to lose. So you've really got to understand that you are worth it, that you have the skills, that you can believe in yourself, and you can go further. I know I was stuck in a job for 4 or 5 years where I was doing a good job. I thought I quite enjoyed it, but I wanted to go further. And every time I looked at new jobs, I was worried that I wouldn't be good enough, because at the moment I feel great. But if I do this and I don't know it, I'll feel bad about myself. But that was no way to push myself forward. And once I got over that, I've managed to keep going and keep climbing and keep improving. And I'm in a much stronger position today because I was able to get over that fear of the unknown. And like someone once said, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing badly. And that simply means that starting off, we're unlikely to be perfect, but we'll get there as we practice more and practice more and practice more. And then it will be time to take the next step. And that's how we're going to grow, and that's how we're going to see our financial freedom come towards us rather than continuing to move away. Well, that's all I got. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.